what's up, everybody? I'm Sean Hammond. We're at the New York Amp Show in the room with Anacon amps, and we've got Alexander here. How are you doing, Alexander?
Okay, thank you. Tired?
You came all the way over from Sweden, right, for the show?
Yes, I did.
So you've got a brand new head chassis over here. You're not even done with the cabinet yet, but you've got all the electronics here for us to hear, right? And it's called the Zagray.
First thing you will notice that the transformers look completely different from what you are used to with those cube-shaped blocks. The orange traditional-looking piece, that's the choke and the power supply. But those bagel-shaped things, the one in the back, that's the power transformer. That has been seen for some time on guitar amps now, but the one in foreground, that's the output transformer. And I think I know of only one other guitar amp that is using toroidal output transformers.
Now, what is the benefit of that? Why do you use that over the standard square type you were describing earlier?
Smaller, more efficient. That means less losses due to heat development and so on. So more power is converted into acoustic audio power. The disturbing magnetic fields that usually are radiated from the standard transformers. Power tubes are my favorites. They are 7591s. They were traditionally used in the 50s, 60s by Gibson in their amps. Then Ampeg did some amps with those tubes. Some other amps, sorry. And I've been using them. All the chicken heads, traditional, they are tone controls. The round knobs like this one and these, they have to do with gain and volume. And that one in the middle, because it's in the middle, that's a mid-range control. Okay. So you have traditional bass and treble. Then you have something I call crystal, which is additional treble control after the distortion circuits. And you have an additional bass control, which I call bottom. And it's just like adjust loose to skinny or tight bottom, which is basically a high-pass filter. So usually it is used when you have a different speaker cab, which might be loose in the bottom and in the low end, so we can tighten it up. Okay, this was the first basic setting, and if you look at the panel, normally when you have several gain knobs, you don't expect that with the gain and volume knobs and stuff like that turned all the way down to zero, that there will be any sound coming up, and that I think is stupid. All settings should be usable. So as you can see, the gain and drive knobs are at zero, and still what you are getting out is a very clean, sort of jazzy chiming sound. The next thing is that you start adding things. It used to be adding gain. So let's do that. We'll go to the setting that is typical of how I deliver my amps, which will be with all knobs basically at noon. That's how it comes out of the box, and I believe that's in this setting you should be able to turn the amp on, plug in, and have good basic usable sound going from clean to good crunch only with your finger work, guitar volume. So let's start with low guitar volume and go on to the full volume. Okay, that is like all knobs at noon setting. Then we can go further on. Usually when you start playing with an amp, a new one, you say, okay, what goes on if I increase this and increase that? Well, there will be more of everything. I want to show you an unusual setting that you will probably not think about in the first hand. That is, let's look at the panel, and what I'm doing is I will be taking down the bass all the way down. I'll take the treble all the way down. I'll go with the gain almost full up. It's like a 4 o'clock. I'll go with the drive to the same 4 o'clock, and I'll go up with the mids like that. Usually most people will think, well, that sound is not really usable, so let's see what we can do it with volume control on the guitar and attack. We'll go through from light things to like controlled feedback, where you leave the tone hanging on and go cook some coffee and come back.
We appreciate you taking the time to tell us all about this really cool amp, and wondered if you can tell us where people can go to find out more about it.
Well, there will be some stuff on it on my website soon, I hope, because that is just the prototype.
When do you anticipate this coming out?
Probably, or let's say probability is that orders placed now will be delivered by Christmas time. Because going from prototype to to something that can be manufactured, it takes time. There is still work to be done, so that I can make them the same. I'm not in the business of manufacturing series of prototypes.
Right. So what's your website?
That is on anacon-tech.com.
So ANACON -tech.
H. It's ANACON-TECH.com. On that site, there will be information on the Zagray.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Alexander. It was great to meet you. I'm Sean Hammond, and you're watching PremierGuitar.com.